Hello once again everyone and welcome to Crusnik's Purgatory. I'm your host Crusnik X and we are on our way to becoming a full-fledged Gunbreaker. We are back on the path of the Gunbreaker for our level 63 quest. As you can see, I'm still rocking. I am now I'm still rocking the Outsider's gear, but at the same time, I glamored it to the Strife attire. This is obtainable as a veteran reward, for those of you who don't already know. So, we've been leveling through roulettes and the whole 9 yards. I've got my Aetheryte earring, to boost me up. I totally did not notice that how low my gear actually is, so I'm gonna mend it up really quick. But we're back in Ul'dah, where we last left off on the path of the Gunbreaker, looking for work. In the last episode, we met Radovan and Sophie and protected a harpsichordist from certain doom in Gridania, only to find out that said harpsichordist was a sylph in disguise. But all's well that ends well. Am I right? Anyways, so I just remembered I forgot to take my medicine today, so anyway, what's just Gil and experience. Okay. Alright, so first and foremost, I do want to talk about what we've learned since the last episode. First and foremost, I've been learning that a lot of my Gunbreaker abilities are going to have to move around a lot. Namely, I'm going to have to switch over the, in fact, I should probably do it right now while I'm thinking about it. And then I can put this there, and this back where it belongs. Boom. Alright, so we've learned one new ability since the last episode, and that is the level 62 ability Bow Shock, which delivers an attack with a potency of 200 to all nearby enemies. It also has an additional effect of damage over time, of course, with a potency of 90 and a duration of 15 seconds. And it looks pretty cool. I haven't had the opportunity to use it in a dungeon yet, but I mean, I've still got plenty of roulettes to do today. Anyway, let's move on to, let's not waste any more time and get right down to it with the level 63 Gunbreaker quest for better or worse.
The walls that surround this city remind me of my homeland. We built it as a fortress to keep out invaders. Not that it made much of a difference in the end.
Oh, not this again. Perhaps you could lighten the mood by sharing your recent bit of good news?
Ah, yes. It looks like we found our next client. Nothing's been decided, but a lady named Oriel is waiting for us near the Gate of Thal. We'll meet you there.
The Gate of Thal, huh? Alright, we'll just take the Ethernet over to the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Thank God for that update. Believe me, I'm sure a lot of Ul'dah crafters were complaining about that one before they actually updated that. Alright, we're going this way. Oh, I forgot about the arms mender here. Oh, well. You're the bodyguards, right? We need your help. It's my husband. After he walked out, I thought I'd seen the last of him, but now... You've got to keep him away from us.
I'm not sure we're qualified to settle domestic disputes.
Radovan! This is serious! Hear her out, would you?
Very well. My apologies. Please continue.
His name's Gerard. He won't leave us alone, and he keeps jumping out to harass us when we're by ourselves. If we were to go outside the city gates, I'm sure he'd follow us. And when he does, I want you to scare him off.
I doubt he'll show himself until if he sees you have bodyguards, so we'll wait somewhere nearby. When the moment is right, we'll give him a fright he won't forget in a hurry.
Yes. Yes. That ought to work. Tim and I will leave through this gate, so you should find a hiding place. It's time that bastard, excuse my language, learned his lesson. All right, we're off. There they are. The mother and her son must be on... Oh, there they are.
Remember, we've got the boy to think about. I'd rather not cut a man down in front of his own son, but I will if I have to. You follow my lead. Get away from her! What? Who the bloody hells are you? Friends of Oriel, now walk away while you still can. But I only want what's best for my boy.
Your boy? You've got no right to call him that. He belongs to me.
This is your final warning. Bother them again and you won't live to regret it.
That'll teach him. And you are wonderful. Worth every gill. Thank you so much.
It was our pleasure.
I think there's more to this than meets the eye, and I know Sophie knows it.
Although there wasn't much for you to do, your presence lent weight to my words. Most importantly, the client was satisfied with our work.
Yes, she did seem rather pleased with herself. Listen, Yuto. There's no time to explain. We have to follow that woman.
Hell's bells. When Sophie gets one of her hunches, there's no stopping her.
Great. In Drybone. Something tells me. Right outside the camp, huh? That one we can teleport for. Something tells me Sophie knows what's up.
Why would she bring Tim all the way out here? What are we supposed to do with a runt like this? If we feed him up, it might worth... If we feed him up, it might be worth something one day. She's selling her own child? We've got to stop them! Wait, is that... Enough of this! Stay away from my son! Son, eh? Ha! You should have kept out of this, mate. Too late now. Quickly! We've got to help him! Not now. Chris, it's up to you.
Wait, what?
Where'd he come from? Don't get in our way!
It's about time.
You saved us. How can I ever...
Daddy!
Chris, I let you down. I let everyone down. But Sophie, what happened here?
I knew from the moment I met Oriel there. I knew from the moment I met Oriel there there was something not quite right about her. It wasn't until later I realized. She's a somnus addict. Once it takes hold, it changes you. She was able to keep her addiction hidden from most, but not from me, and probably not from her family either.
Yes, I've known for a while, but I had no idea she'd do something like this. Gods, if I hadn't started gambling, this never would have happened. My debt spiraled beyond my control, and she ran to get away from me, to start a new life with our son. The shock of losing them made me realize I couldn't live like that anymore. So I vowed to turn my life around, and I worked my fingers to the bone to repay the money I owed. But by the time I finally found the courage to track down Oriel, it was too late. She'd made new friends, the wrong sort of friends, and had to resort to gods only know what to make ends meet. It became too much to bear, and Somnus was her only escape. Nothing else mattered to her, not even her own child. So you see, it wasn't only my life I'd ruined. I made her who she is today. That's why I don't have it in me to hate her.
What will you do now?
I plan to send her to Frondale's frontistery. They can treat people like Oriel, although it costs more than most folks can afford. My savings should cover it for a short while, at least. We'll take it one day at a time and see how she responds to the treatment. I know she might never recover, but I can't give up on her. Obviously, she's in no fit state to look after Tim, so he'll be living with me. You could have been killed confronting those slavers. If you wind up dead, there'll be no one to look after the boy. From now on, you'll have to think before you act. I will. I swear it. Thank you all for everything you've done.
Well, all's well that ends well.
That poor child. Sophie's quick thinking may have saved him on this occasion, but I fear his hardships are far from over. I, on the other hand, had only succeeded in disgracing myself. Again.
It's not your fault, Radovan. I think you owe Chris an explanation, though.
Yes. If we are to fight side by side, there is something you should know. Though I served as an Imperial conscript for a time, after I disobeyed a direct order, I was sentenced to solitary confinement for more than a decade. Like many of the inmates, I was forced to wear a Magitech collar. The wardens could use them to administer a severe electric shock any time they pleased, and pleased them it did. The paralysis would eventually wear off, but even now, years after removing the collar, my whole body will suddenly seize up. It's as though the pain never left me and could reawaken at any moment. Thankfully, my condition appears to have improved somewhat since leaving the Empire. Perhaps one day I will be free of it, but until then, there's no telling when it might strike.
Radovan saved my bacon more times than I can count, so it's only fair that I do the same for him. We've been through thick and thin ever since the first time we met in that Garlean jail. I was awaiting execution along with the other captured members of the Resistance, as well as various insurgents and undesirables. Among them were several somnisatics. Even in an Imperial jail, there are ways to get your hands on it. When I saw Auriel, I couldn't put my finger on it at first, but she had the same look in her eyes as those lost souls. Anyway, where was I? So, Radovan had been meaning to escape ever since he was first imprisoned, and was secretly digging a tunnel, a few ilms each night, over the course of about 10 years. The thing was, it went the wrong way. Then one night he suddenly burst through my wall.
Why did you have to tell him that? You know I'm far from proud of my miscalculation.
Well, things worked out in the end, didn't they? The other inmates made such a racket when you came crashing in and drew the attention of the wardens, and all hell broke loose. In the confusion, Radovan and I forced our way past the guards, and by some miracle we managed to avoid their searchlights. And finally, we were free.
Free to return to my wife and child, to my homeland, or so I thought. While I'd been rotting away in a Garlean cell, everything I knew, everything I loved had been taken from me. I should have been there, but I couldn't even. Gah! Enough of this. We've spoken over long as it is. Well then, where to next?
I think I've had my fill of Ul'dah. What say we try our luck in Lim Salominsa? I'm sure a change of scenery will do us a world of good.
Yes, I like the sound of that. Let's reconvene at the local Adventurers Guild.
Alright, off to the Drowning Wench, and I've got plenty of Maelstrom Aetheryte tickets to do the job for me. Man, those Grand Company Aetheryte tickets really come in handy. Alright. Alright, where? Ah, there they are. Leaning against the wall again.
A city founded by pirates. Now there's a terrible idea if ever I heard one. With all the cutthroats running rampant, I'm surprised there's anyone left.
But what about the views? The sea breeze?
There'll be plenty of time to enjoy ourselves once we've a few more gil in our pockets. Chris, we're still waiting for word from the guild, so perhaps you should find somewhere for a few practice swings in the meantime.
Notice how Sophie's outfit changes with each location? She's a fashion addict. I just have a feeling. But anyways, with that being said, we've completed another Gunbreaker quest. In the next episode, we will be completing more of the Path of the Gunbreaker with the level 65 quest, Confessions of a Flaming Mongrel. Oh, I have a feeling I know who's going to be in this. I have a feeling I know who's going to be involved in this, but until then, but until then, that's going to be it for this episode of Crusnik's Purgatory. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed this episode. As always, if you're watching this on Twitch or live at PlayStation and you like this show, click the follow button, be sure to turn on notifications so you're well informed, and be sure to subscribe to me for access to exclusive live streams and videos. If you're watching this on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel by clicking here. Click here to watch more by me, click here to watch the next episode, and click here to watch the previous one. Until next time, Crusnik X, signing out.